Hey, what's up, guys? Finally made it to Rhyolite. It's a little tiny ghost town in right outside of Beatty, Nevada. I used to do a lot of mining. As you can see, there's strip mines like way up there. I want to take a quick little video of all these old ruins. There's a lot of buildings they're just old concrete buildings. And this was a boom town for about 3 years until somebody just pulled the plug and said, hey, we can find gold somewhere else. So I just wanted to stop by and check it out and show you around. So I'm gonna hop on my bike and show you more right up the hill here. So just as a little walk around, as soon as you pull in here, you're about 4 miles, that sign says, from Beatty going back east. And if you go west, this is like how you get into Death Valley. This is like one of the main roads you take to no man's land for quite a ways, actually. So I didn't take that road yet, but pretty soon I want to go out that way and make some more videos heading out there. But there's really, I think I might bring some gas along just in case. So anyways, so this is the entrance. I'm gonna head on in and show you around a little more. And we're not too far away from Area 51. So there's always like military craft flying around. I think that might be an Apache. Alright guys, now I'm over by Rhyolite School. This is the second schoolhouse that they built in this town. The first one was a tiny little wooden house. And the second one was this 2-story building that they got a spending bond for $20,000 to build this place back in the day. And it used to have galvanized Spanish tiles on the top, a little bell with a cupola. And they had over, I think, 225 students here at one time. It started out with like 27 students, and then all of a sudden there's 46, and then there's 74, and now then all of a sudden I think, here, let me turn the camera around here. You can kind of pause and read that yourself, but here's the original schoolhouse in 1907, where everybody originally started going to school. And the funny thing is that they passed this. Look at this. They had a bond in 1907 for $20,000, and they didn't even pay it off until 1978. So everybody moved out of here probably in like 1911. Yeah, it closed in 1911. So that's pretty cool. Kind of interesting. I thought I'd kind of walk around here, kind of maybe take a trip around the school so you guys can check it out for yourselves. I kind of like just poking around. They got this old school. That must be the sign they had before they had the actual placard out there. But you can see there's like little donkey prints or something. Some kind of prints. It's pretty cool. And everywhere you walk around here, there's always like a bunch of metal. There's always like little fragments of metal all over the place. So it's kind of fun just to walk around, get the view. It's a pretty nice day out. It's kind of overcast, and there's all kinds of buildings around here too. There's like, I think that's the old Union Hall. This was a pretty big area. They used to do a ton of mining out this way, up against all those mountains. That's kind of looking south. And then this is like up in the mountains too, where there are mines everywhere around this area. So this is a really popular place to live. It was one of those boom towns where somebody lived here, or like a whole bunch of people moved here for about 3 years. And then they just pulled the plug on the mining operation and moved it out of town, and pretty much everybody just left all their houses. There's old dilapidated houses everywhere. There's just wood structures just sunk in and fell over sideways all over out there. This is where the main town used to be. It was just kind of down in this valley. So I was just kind of doing a little walkthrough. Here's kind of the outside. They had a whole bunch of windows in here. Huge 2-story. If you can imagine, just a big Spanish tiles up there, just gigantic. It's a pretty big area. I mean, I would guess it's probably around 4,000 square feet. Maybe 3,000, 4,000 square feet. This thing's probably, I don't even know, almost 100 feet by maybe like 50 feet. So I don't know, maybe it's 5,000 square feet or something. But this thing's pretty big. If I turn the camera around one more time. So this is the back side of it. And really, it's got a couple big cracks but I mean, really, it's still standing. It's proven the test of time. They said it was made out of concrete block and then more concrete. They just smeared all over it. So this was pretty much 100% concrete. And they kind of got a little bit of barbed wire up all over the place to keep everybody out of it, so people don't spread graffiti all over the place. Oh, they did have steps going up on the outside here. Wow, that'd be a cool little hangout spot. Just keep walking around here. And this was just where all the school children used to go to school. This would be a pretty cool little school if you had the opportunity, compared to like public school nowadays. Those things are like the size of like a small city or a university, some of them. But this one is in pretty good shape, really, structurally looking. Sorry, you got the sun kind of pointing right at the camera. So I'm gonna keep heading down the road here and check out a few more of them. They got like the hardware stores over that way. So I'm just gonna keep on walking down the road here so you can see. Oh yeah, somebody has scratched all their names in there. If you can read all that, somebody used to spend all their time after school putting their name on the outside. Here they got, what does that say, Bud Light? No way. Anyway, everybody's got to write their name on everything, so that's how they had to put up all this barbed wire, just to keep people out. But I thought that was pretty cool. The old school. Pretty sweet. That's a pretty sweet school. So, alright, I'm going to keep heading down the road and check out some more of these other places. Alright guys, now I'm standing in the red light district of Rhyolite. Okay, this is kind of the downtown area. This is where the jail is, right over here behind me. So I'm going to just turn the camera around for a second so you can see how big Rhyolite. This place is really big. I've been walking around quite a bit just to see some of it, but this is like something you would probably take all day just to see. But you can read all that. There's a lot of information. There's tons of these little placards everywhere you turn around in the city. They took the time just to kind of point out everything that was historical, and pretty much they left everything behind. I mean, everything. Look at all these old barrels. You see all kinds of just old stuff. I mean, everywhere. So if you're like, I don't think it's legal to take any of this because that would be against their antiquities laws. I believe like after about, I think 100 years or something like that, it's like you can't just go around picking up every single little thing you see around here. But I just thought that was pretty cool. This is the old jail. Can you imagine how many bad people used to live here? This is probably like where they just had their office. They had their little desk sitting in the corner. They're like, oh yeah, you're a bad person, so you're gonna have to stay in the clink. Let's see if this even, oh no, it's welded shut. But anyways, that's how you get in. It's just the old Rhyolite jail. If you were ever in trouble, this is where you'd be calling home. So I'm gonna check through the windows. There's another door down here. That's welded shut too. But I'm gonna stack some rocks up so you can kind of get up a little higher. Yeah, it's a mess in there. Check that out. If you can see. Stick my phone in there trustingly. There's the door for the front. It's just a big mess. But that's pretty cool. At least they bent these open so you could stick a camera in there. That's pretty sweet. It looks pretty sturdy to this day even. I don't think, if you were stuck in there, I don't think you'd be able to get out of there. There's nothing much. These look pretty strong too. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. All right, I'm back. I crawled all the way to the top of this mountain here. Well, not all the way, but I'm surrounded by quite a bit of like huge rock way up there. And I just figured I may as well climb to the top of the mountains, or almost, just to get this view of Death Valley. So you can see way out in the distance, that's California. If I go the other way, out this way, this is Rhyolite. Okay, this is like huge. I tried walking around, but a lot of area. I mean, that's at least like a square few miles, I would say. So this is kind of a cool view if you like the mountains. So this is really nice. There's a few mines. We're gonna go check out a few mines right down here. There's a bunch of people walking around, so I didn't want to be all like, hey, YouTubey on my phone around a bunch of people, get a little self-conscious or something. So anyways, all right, so I'm gonna do a quick pan of the whole city. This is my little chill spot up here. It's kind of nice. Got a little nooks and crannies. Somebody was really doing some major mining around here. I just love how these rocks kind of just come out of the mountain like this. That's really sweet. So that's the Rhyolite jail. Where's my motorcycle? Oh yeah, way down there. Okay, and that's like the red light district, this whole area. So they had like a brothel around here. And where is that? Oh, there's like a memorial to one of the working girls. So there's a lot of people that leave like their boots and their women's clothes, like just as a memorial to. So anyways, I'm gonna head down the mountain and keep on going. So this isn't too bad of a walk, really. Nice overcast day. Last time I was here it was like 100 degrees and sunny and no wind. So now it's like just a real mild wind, you know. It's a great day. I mean, this is really perfect weather for like doing some climbing. So this is just a huge piece of rock. I can't believe how big some of this is. So this is what I just love doing. I mean, you can climb all through all this crazy stuff. Would offer shelter. I mean, if you were stuck out here, not like they like you camping out here. I don't think they even allow it, but whoa, I gotta find my path. Almost lost my path down the mountain, because sometimes if you're off the beaten trail, it gets really sketchy. Look at how steep this goes down. I mean, you're losing almost a foot of elevation every foot or less, probably. So if you stick to this little trail, take you all the way down the mountain. So I'm just gonna do a little downhill action. So you can see this goes way up into multiple mountain ranges. Right now, what is it, the Barrick Gold Company? They're out of Canada. They bought all this land out here. So like pretty much all this land out there, they're doing like strip mining. So that's owned by some Canadian company bought a ton of land in America. So anyways, whoa, this is getting really steep. Yeah, it's not always easy traversing the mountains, especially when you're holding a camera and trying to focus and have a smile on your face all the time. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, all right, there's a lot of cool little vistas here. I mean, you could just stop. This would be a great place just to have a afternoon siesta or something. I could see back in the day some old cowboys just leaning up against these big mountains, just taking it easy in the shade on a hot summer day. So, all right, so I'm getting close to the mine here. Wow, I climbed way. It's kind of a ways up there. It's going almost 100 yards there. So anyways, there's like a whole bunch of mines in here. There's mines that go straight into the side of the mountain, and then there's mines that just go straight down into the ground. So I'm just gonna do a little quick pan here. But this one here seems like I've seen a lot of other people with YouTube pages, and they go into this mine because it doesn't go very far. It's just all goes in and then it just stops. And the BLM put a little metal gate on there so people don't go cruising through there. So, but anyways, that was a pretty cool little mine. If you could explore it further, that'd be really neat. Last time I could almost feel a ton of air, a whole bunch of air just come flying out of here. So yeah, this is a really neat place. All right, on to the other side of the barbed wire where the donkeys make dookie. So anyways, I'm gonna head back down to my bike here and check out more of the town here. There's a lot to look at. This place is really big, so if you really want to do a thorough job of checking this place out, I would come in the morning and get some really good walking shoes, because there's a lot of like up and down. As you can see here, this is really rocky at best. So they did do quite a good job of grading this, so it's pretty, you could probably get out here with like a Subaru, not like a Honda Civic. Don't drive like your custom low rider out here, because you won't get too far and then you'll have to walk everywhere. But for the most part, this is like pretty easy accessible. You know, you could really ride a bicycle around most of this if you had to, or something like that. So pretty neat. And here is, oh yeah, Mona Bell's grave site. So they buried her here. It's kind of a long story, but that's why they have placards. So you can read that. Kind of pause the video and read that if you wanted to. But they got like all kinds of memorial reminders of what you might see. Actually, I see this in a few other towns too, where like prostitution was legal. They always had like where they got buried, and there's other examples of things kind of like this too. All right, now here I am on top of a mound of a vertical mine shaft here. So this one goes down like hundreds of feet. So some of these, they don't mess around. So when they put a barbed wire around some of this, and there's a lot, there's 2 layers of barbed wire kind of. That's just to keep the animals and the idiots out. So I'm not going past that, but I just wanted to kind of point out some of these spots, because there's other vertical ones like that. It's just a hole in the ground, like out in these fields. So just use caution when you're walking around, because some of them you would be lucky if there's a couple boards on top of these big holes. So just be wary of that. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, just make sure you don't fall in a vertical mine shaft. That's today's lesson. All right, here we go. I'm gonna head up to the train station real quick, which is like way over that way. by the old Rhyolite train station. This thing was only in operation for only like 2 or 3 years before they shut it down, because this was one of those old boom towns where everybody moved here and then all of a sudden things went sour. So this was built only for really only about 2 or 3 years, and then somebody bought it down the way. I think they made it into a casino in the 70s, I think. So, but anyways, I thought this was a cool place too. It's totally abandoned, but at least they put a new roof on it, so it's not totally destroyed like these other ones down the road. So it's kind of good that they kind of put a little money into some things just to make it look nice. So, all right, I'm back because I found something cool. All right, here's a sweet old barrel I found. It's the Any of California Standard Oil Company, but it's got like rollers on the side, so you can roll it like long distances. Oh wow, they have one of these gourds too. You got these old gourds. That's pretty neat. I think they're called coyote gourds, something like that. So, but let's see. Oh, this thing's like at least 100 pounds. This thing's super heavy. Well, that's cool. Yeah, so this is some of the things you might find in a seemingly scrap pile in the middle of the desert. So I'm just going to keep walking down the road here. See what else you find. It's just interesting that they just left all this stuff. Those heavy duty cable and heavy duty pipe. Probably just to pump all their water for all their mining operations. So all these dilapidated buildings that just kind of wash down the old mountainside. This is where a lot of like the homesteads were. Like a lot of houses were just kind of mixed in between all this. So you got like huge piles of just cans all over. It's really neat just to see all this. Some people don't appreciate this, and that's cool. I totally get it. But I mean, this is your past history. And just anything you'd see in the desert. Especially like big ant hills too. You gotta look out for ants. Some of these ants out here are super aggressive. So one time I had one latch onto my Tiva flip-flops, and I had to actually kill this ant because it wouldn't let go of me. So just be careful of that, because these ants are aggressive and they are really big. I mean, they're almost the size of like the end of my pinky almost, some of these. So, all right, I'm going to turn the camera around, show you this sweet little house I found. Look at this abandoned old house. It's probably standing. It was probably standing for, gosh, who knows how long. And here, unfortunately, it just fell down one day, probably in a windstorm or something. Look at the quality. They had tongue and groove flooring. Look at that. That was like actually good flooring. Ah, the days, the stories this old house could tell. Yeah, how nice this used to be. You got all that detailed trim. Somebody spent a lot of time doing all that. What's inside? A bunch of plywood. I don't even know. But I don't think I'd want to camp under there. I think I'd camp in a tent before I camped under there. So here's the, oh yeah, here's the rest of the, okay, they had like shake shingles. That sounds cool. What else? And then they use like, probably like, sometimes they just flatten out any old steel just to make like a rooftop. Yeah, this is like, looks like it's an old ceiling tile almost or something, or ductwork. They would use anything. Back in the day, they would cover a house in anything. So they used to flatten out old cans and nail them up. Next time on this old house, who knows? Maybe it'll fall all the way over. All right, now I'm at Tom Kelly's bottle house. This guy made a house out of like 50,000 bottles of wine. If you can imagine that. everybody in town was giving Tom some wine bottles so he could finish his house. So it's like that all the way around. It's pretty sweet that they put a new roof on it too. So that's cool. I'm just trying to make all the rounds as possible because the sun's kind of starting to go down a little bit, and there's like a lot to cover in this little town. So you come out to Rhyolite, come in the morning, and you can spend more time at Tom Kelly's Bottle House. All right, not only do they have just a whole bunch of rusty stuff laying around in the desert in Rhyolite, Nevada, they have an art display too. So they have like all different kind of artists kind of make different kind of things, like mostly like ghostly type of things. And they have like, they got like little ghost figures that somebody made, like a whole bunch of, and like a whole bunch of like Mr. Roboto kind of artwork too. So just some of the different things you see. That's the museum. They have a free museum out here also. So if you want to come out to their free museum in Rhyolite, come check it out. It's that little red top building right there. So it's open most weekdays. So come on out. I'm just going to cruise around through here. They got all their little ghosts. They make some artists come out and make like a ton of little ghosts. And if you guys are into spooky things, you should come out here on October 31st on Halloween, because they have like a Halloween tour through here. And apparently you're supposed to see spooky ghosts like around midnight or 9 o'clock or something like that. So either way, it's a nice way to spend some time in the desert. So I'm going to head down to the cemetery is out in the field here. So this town's really spread out. So I couldn't imagine if you had to walk all this way. This would be many, many miles you'd be walking. So I'm glad I have my motorcycle, because if I had to walk that far, that'd be too much for these old cowboy boots. So anyways, all right, I'll be right back at the cemetery. All right, here we are out at the Rhyolite Cemetery. Okay, so I'm just down here kind of checking it out. They got a little park bench over here if you want to eat lunch. I like how they really spent some money. The state really spent some money on this town, because they really dressed it up. They put up all this wire fencing all over the place, keep people out. And sometimes you see like little tiny crosses. Sometimes you see like big fancy ones. A lot of these are like, you wouldn't even know that there's a gravesite anywhere. Because last time, like I did this one, I think last time, I just added like a little cross there so people wouldn't be like stumbling upon old, out of respect. That's what other people were doing too. Some of it's like kind of sectioned off. Some of these are kind of sectioned off too. They've got like little barriers or little restraints so you don't go waltzing across some whole families dead folks. So, and some of these are sectioned off so you don't go stumbling across some people's history. You don't want to just be like, just out of respect. So here's probably one of the fanciest ones here. Bullfrog Rhyolite Cemetery. It's interesting. It's got all this quartz, or the copper ore, all over the place. But here, if you want to pause the video and read the rest of that, but that's cool. It's a little remembrance. April 1959. And people left like all kinds of like a old rusty trimmer from probably the barber shop or something like that. They got like a little bullet. That's pretty cool. You don't see those every day. And just an assortment of just remembrance, mementos, and all kinds of stuff. Check this out. Here's the back side of that. That's pretty neat. So I just wanted to walk around and kind of show you Rhyolite Cemetery. It's kind of neat. I mean, you don't see stuff like this every day. And surely there's nobody around, really. I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. So just wanted to walk around and check out. Some of these are really old and busted. Just check out a couple of these real quick. These are really small, some of these. And this one died in 1908. Wow. Miss Annie Sisk died April 18th, 1908. That's like one of the few. Like, this is like one of the very few that actually have like a real date or a headstone for that matter. Or this kind of like metal tubing. You're lucky if you get that out here. Because some of them, they used to have like wood. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of wood around some of these that they're all dilapidated and they're broken. They could probably use a screw or two here and there just to hold them all together. But this is really cool. Like that one, oh yeah, that one's from 1908. This one's 1905. Wow, they were born in 1866. That's pretty cool. And here's another one here. Oh, I can hardly read it. Daniel Kennedy died in 1866. That's just something you might see when you're roaming around Rhyolite, Nevada. All right, and then here's one last gravesite I saw in the corner here. This one's of Mary Elizabeth Madison, also known as Panamint Annie. So, or Panamint Ann. Just the stuff you see out in the desert. And you got your little, what is this, Joshua tree? Yeah, you got a Joshua tree sitting right behind the gravesite too. So, that's pretty neat. So anyways, this is Panamint Ann gravesite. So check it out. There's all kinds of old history out there. You never know what you're going to find. So this is what I like poking around doing, just kind of looking at different stuff. All right, so if you guys come out to Rhyolite, just expect to stay maybe more than half a day. At least, you know, if you want to see all of it, you know, you're going to be driving like 100 yards, get out, check out this area, drive another 100 yards, because this is really vast. Okay, this is many square miles out here, I would say. I don't know how big it is, but it looks like it would be at least, I don't know, 5 square miles or more, something like that. I mean, it's the size of a small big city. So all right, I'm gonna turn the camera around. So as you can see, I'm over by the cemetery right now, and where I was walking up real high, that's like way, wait a minute, where's those rocks? Right over there. And I was like way, yeah, I was up here. That's where I was. I was looking out over that little corner that dips down on the right side. So that was a really good view, actually. But that just kind of shows you how far, away I was compared to where the cemetery is. Because people were living all out here too. So I mean, and then they're all the way back through that mountain range too, kind of around the corner. So it's pretty neat, really spread out. And now I think I'm going to call it a day because my feet are sore. Walking around cowboy boots off-road all day. Oh, I'm going to sleep good tonight. All right, well, I'm going to keep coming out with new videos pretty soon. So just stick around, and hopefully the editing is getting a little better. Okay, you guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.